Good morning. I am Snehalata Prasad, guided by Dr. Bhushan sir. I will present SAQ of post-surgical complications. So there are mostly four post-surgical complications. Those are infection, presence of bony specule, hemorrhage, and dry socket. So I'll be discussing them individually. First is infection. The causes of infection is infected needle, then contamination of LA solution, and inadequate aseptic preparations. Now, the management of infection can be done by antibiotic therapy. Then the second complication is presence of bony specules. The causes of bony specule is improper technique of extraction. The prevention can be done by checking the socket for any sharp edges before closure of the wound. And the management is done by filing or removal of the bony specules. The next complication is hemorrhage. It is a very common complication. And hemorrhage is divided into three types, that is primary, reactionary, and secondary. Primary hemorrhage is the continuous bleeding at the time of surgery. Reactionary hemorrhage is which occurs within the 24 hours of surgery. And secondary hemorrhage is which occurs in few days after the surgery. So the prevention can be by taking a proper medical history of the patient. Then proper investigations should be carried out, which is required. And unnecessary flap elevations should be avoided. Now, the management of hemorrhage can be done by initially by digital pressure for 2 to 3 minutes on the bleeding site. And if the bleeding continues, then sutures are given. Then if this doesn't work, then packs on the socket is given, like bone wax, gel form. And if further bleeding continues, then the associated vessels are ligated. After this, a blood sample can be sent for testing of any systemic involvement for the suspected patients. Now, the next complication is dry socket. Dry socket is defined as it is a post-operative pain in and around the dental alveolus, which increases in severity at some moment between the first and third day after dental extraction, accompanied by partial or total disintegration of the intra-alveolar clot, causing foul smell. So now we'll see the etiology of dry socket. Those are difficult or traumatic extraction, use of oral contraceptives, hormonal changes, tobacco, inadequate intraoperative irrigation, and advanced age. Use of oral contraceptives are related to dry socket, as in the oral contraceptive is associated with estrogen, fluctuating estrogen levels, which increases the fibrinolytic activity in the body. Now we'll move on to the clinical features. Clinical features of dry socket are sharp pain, which appears on second or third day after the extraction. The pain is localized to the socket and it increases with suction or mastication. The pain lasts for 10 to 14 days with or without treatment. Sometimes the pain radiates to the ear and the ipsilateral side of the head. The socket is sensitive to gentle probing, and halitosis is present. Absence of clot in the socket is seen. Now the etiopathogenesis. There are two pathogenesis, that is Burns fibrinolytic theory and bacterial theory. The Burns fibrinolytic theory states that after the extraction, inflammatory process is initiated in the body, and which releases plasminogens. Plasminogens activate the plasmins, and plasmins acts on the fibrinogens and fibrins. This will cause the dissolution of the clot. Now, the management of dry socket is, firstly, the radiograph is taken to check for any foreign body or root fragments. Then the socket is irrigated with 0.12% warmed chlorhexidine. And then intra-alveolar paste of zinc oxide eugenol, anesthetics, and antibiotics is placed in the socket. The antibiotic which is used is metronidazole. Then while placing, we should take some care should be taken while placing the paste. That is, pressure should not be exerted on the socket. After this, NaCIDs are prescribed for managing the pain, and a follow-up should be done until the socket healing is ensured and the pain is relieved. Thank you.